Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. Finally, we are at part 3 for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sweet 16. This is the reunion, part 3. We only needed 2 parts, but Charles saved the day, okay? He was the most entertaining part of this whole thing. So let's go ahead and get into it before I forget or you forget. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, let me know you stopped by, share the video, do all the things. It's free 99, okay? So we pick back up where we left off with Shamia and Portia arguing, and we get into the mamas of it all, okay? Because they mamas used to be best friends. Portia said that her mama could no longer afford to pay for her. They both own daycares. Portia's mom couldn't afford to pay for her daycare anymore. So, it went into foreclosure. And Shamia's mom went and purchased said daycare behind her back. So that was one of the reasons why they had a falling out. Now I'm thinking, why does Shamia purchasing the daycare? Like, why y'all falling out over that? I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel. Do you think Shamia's mom was in the wrong for going back and getting that daycare, like backdooring Portia's mom and getting it? Do you think she should have helped her friend? I feel like, look, if business is business, if you can't afford it, why are you mad that your friend got it? I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Because I can see both sides, but what do you expect your friend to do? Like, I'm not saying you got to act like B. Simone or nothing, but I can help you out. But I got bills too. I got to take sister. You maybe you can get a job at my daycare. I don't know, but what you want me to do? You can't keep it up anymore. Anywho, so Andy, being biased as always, asked Shamia if she can apologize for the part she played in the demise of their friendship. It really seems like the demise of their friendship started with their mamas, and it just was downhill from there. But I don't like how Andy really just asked Shamia, and he doesn't hold Portia accountable. He didn't ask Portia to apologize for anything. So Shamia was blaming Angela and Drew, and she basically didn't take no accountability, and she blamed them for telling what she told, in privacy and in secrecy when she was talking about Portia behind her back. Andy confirmed that Portia did state that she wanted Shamia on the show long time ago. That ain't really holding water for me because Andy likes Portia, so yeah, he's gonna side with her. But anyway, I still feel like Portia is envious of Shamia's lifestyle. Like, that didn't change for me. I still think that Portia feels like Shamia is living a life that she's supposed to be living. So, but quite frankly, I'm just tired of hearing about Portia and Shamia's failed friendship. I really don't want to hear about it no more. Now, Andy tells Shamia that she needs to speak up when she's feeling away. And she does need to speak up. But Andy, you also need to hold everybody accountable. And you don't do that. So on to Drew's package. Ralph had tweeted that Drew's mom needs to watch her mouth because she spent up all of Drew's father's money when he passed away, and Ralph had to come in there and pick up the pieces. Ralph, that was disgustingly low. And I'm just confused because that was very low down. He's a straight up textbook narcissist, okay? The way that everyone applauded him later and gave him praise was baffling to me because did y'all just hear what he tweeted? And now y'all are giving him praise? I'm confused. So Andy asked Drew about Memorial Day weekend when Drew and Ralph were eating steaks together and feeding each other. And then Ralph, being a clown he is, exposed it. And Angela encouraged Drew, like, girl, go get your eat on. If a man can cook, you might as well go ahead and eat. And everybody's like, yes, you might want to tiptoe down in that basement every now and again. Like, stop encouraging this. Now, me personally, I've been saying all along that I feel like Drew and Ralph's divorce is for a storyline. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to act like this is legitimate. She don't need to be going down there with the man who disrespects her and her mama like this. Okay? Like, the bar is in hell. The standards don't exist. I know they married, and if they get together and they can work it out, great. But Ralph got work to do, okay? So apparently Ralph had a woman in the basement. And when I said I would have lost my mind, I don't care if we separated, going through a divorce or nothing. You don't bring no woman into the basement when I'm upstairs. Like, no. Mm-mm. Then Drew said that said woman had the audacity to confront her. She was at her children's school. The woman was at the school and had the nerve to try to confront Drew. Ralph can't even get his side pieces in order. He can't even get them in check. You don't go around confronting a wife. Like, the game done changed because mistresses used to know their place. We've lost that along the way. Like, bring back shame. Okay? You just do what you do with him in secrecy. You don't be all at the school all loud. Where would you? I would have went off on her and him in his Beijing. Because Drew pointed out that he had his Beijing on, and I said, he sure do. I'm glad somebody else besides me noticed. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, a viewer asked why no one had compassion for Drew with her ongoing divorce, aside from Angela, but everybody had compassion for Portia and her fake marriage, allegedly. Whoever you are to ask the question, thank you for asking, the real. Okay? Thank you for getting down to the bottom of it. This is what we need answers to. Because, yes, I'm glad you spoke up. Now, Kelly, the only one who had anything to say about this, Portia wasn't going to say nothing. But Kelly, she spoke up and said she hoped she and Drew could have hit it off more. Girl, you a liar to like to lie. Okay? You telling a bold-faced lie. No, you wanted to be on the side of wrong. You wanted to link up with Portia. You wanted to be over there with the cool girls. You wanted to be over there with them, with who you thought the fan favorites were. You wanted to align yourself. Kelly is a flip-flopper anyway, so she go wherever the wind blow. And now she noticed, oh, wait a minute. The fans actually do like Drew this season, so let me go back on and apologize so they can like me too. Girl, no. Mm-mm. So Kelly calling Drew a liar comes back up. And Kelly was like, listen, the reason why I said that is because at that Balmain charity event, you lied and said that you purchased something for your son and you didn't purchase nothing. And Drew, the story you told, it sounded like a lie, okay? It's giving liar, okay? It's giving you telling a big, bold-faced lie. For what reason, I don't know. It didn't make no sense. Even Angela was like, girl, please, don't nobody believe that. And look, it ain't even give a little white lie. Like, it was just a bad lie. Like, girl. So, okay, Kelly, you got a point there, but that you wasn't feeling Drew prior to that. So let's not even. Now, Drew said she was joking about being Michael Jordan's cousin. I thought it was an obvious joke, but they was like, oh, no, you was sounding serious. Y'all just didn't want to like Drew. You just wanted to attack Drew because you knew she was an easy target. So no matter what she said, you was going to have a problem with it. A fan called out Shamia for running back that comment Drew made when she said that her album will pay for Pilar to go to college. And even Portia was like, yeah, she didn't like that because Shamia ran it back like, Drew was being malicious and being shady when she said it, and she really wasn't. So Shamia was like, look, I thought she was being shady, but you know what? I'm going to just mind my business going forward. And Drew said, and you should do just that. And Shamia, you really should. Being Portia's lapdog don't look good on you. I mean, I know you love it there because you love to bring it up every 5 minutes, but you got to get off that lap. It's not a good look. So a fan also called out Portia and Shamia for meeting up with Ralph. Now that was scandalous. Low down dirty shame, honey. Portia took no accountability and nobody held her feet to the fire. I think we should, as much as we rotate the girls, we need to rotate the hosts. Andy needs a little break. We need somebody who's unbiased, who don't got no connections with nobody on the show, because it's blatantly obvious when Andy likes someone and when he doesn't. So, Portia did make a comment, though, saying that she thought Drew was lying. Girl, Drew may lie, but you lied too, Portia. Don't act like you don't be sitting up there telling a little lie every now and again, because you do. Okay? Shamia mentioned the lapdog gate again, and Angela was like, stop saying that. Like, stop referring to yourself as a lapdog. Like, yes, please. Please let this be the last time you say that. Girl, it's just getting on my nerves. It's unbecoming. You ain't hit on nothing when you say it. Like, so why do you keep? But anyway, Shamia said, look, I was being a loyal friend to Portia like you were to Drew. And Angela said, no, wait a minute now. I'm too big to be sitting on anybody's lap. And I said, I know that's right. Clock it. Okay. Shout out to us tall girls, okay? Team tall. Look, she ain't sitting on nobody's lap. You, Shamia, are a lap dog and you're a lap dog all alone. So they get to Drew talking on the phone with Ty for 3,000 minutes, and that does sound like a lot of time, especially just to be talking to your homegirl. But I digress. That's why they should have had. I know Ming was in little, she was in the back a certain episode. They should have brought Ming and Ty on this season just for that, because they ain't doing nothing over there on Basketball Wives. And really, Ming is boring, but just to get the Ming, Ty, Drew storyline going would have been good. Because if they try to do it next season, it's too old. Nobody will care. So, and that's why they should have had Fallon on there this season to make Portia work. You try to do it next season, it's too little, too late. And y'all know Kenya said she ain't coming back next season. Highly disappointed. Not sure who's behind that decision. But okay, let's get some newbies in. Let's get new girls. Don't be bringing back nobody old that we don't want to see. And I don't want to see Sheree ever again. I was mad I had to hear about her as much as I did on this episode. So Drew said that Ty is just her friend. She also said Black is just her friend, and then proceeds to pass out his portable nicotine-free hookah. I might have to look into that. But that's neither here nor there. Go pay for the free advertisement, okay? Even though Portia's still trying to push that Drew's messing with Black. Portia, you need to understand this. We don't care if she is. I don't care if she's sleeping with Black. I don't care if she's sleeping with Ty. I don't care if she's sleeping with the mailman. We don't care who Drew is messing with at this point. She's married to Ralph. We don't care. Leave her be and worry about who you messing with. Your baby daddy or somebody else, too. We don't know. So, Drew said that Dennis, because they was talking about her messing with Dennis, she said Dennis ain't her type. Now, she was being nice about it this time, because she went on the interview, and she was a little rude about it the first time, but she was like, Dennis is not her type. And here come Portia talking about something, and Black ain't all that either. Okay, but she said she's not with Black, honey, so what that mean? Like, you was better off saying, and Ralph ain't all that, because she was married to Ralph. We don't actually know about her being with anybody else. You're just bringing up a rumor, some hearsay. But that don't take away from the fact that Dennis ain't all that. She said she don't want Dennis. Like, why are you mad about that, girl? Because she said she did want him. You'd be mad about that too. So then she was like, look, because Drew was like, if I haven't been our boyfriend, then I'll be happy to bring him up here when she's divorced, okay? You fooling me, girl. And Portia was like, man or woman, because we know how you like to get down. And Drew was like, actually, I heard that about you, honey. We know how you like to do. Okay, let's not forget about when they went to South Carolina. And Portia was like, if I find me a Ty, she going to be sitting right behind me. Watch Ty be on the next season as Portia's girlfriend. Allegedly. So, and Ty is attractive. But she knows she only wants Dennis in his plaid suit behind her. So the estranged husband and the ex-fiance come out. Now, Andy is pressing Shamia on why Gerald isn't there. And rightfully so, because the husbands are supposed to be there. Like, yes, I know it's the Housewives. She said it's not his thing and he sent flowers. But once I remember, this was on a panel last week that I do on my second channel, Shana_MCD TV, that I do with the ladies. I'll be doing that tonight as well at 8 o'clock. Be there or be square on my second channel. Look out for my community tab. Subscribe to that channel. Turn on your post notifications. But anyway, they reminded me that, yeah, this was filmed in Atlanta. So they didn't have to fly to New York. They didn't have to be gone for days. They could have got a babysitter for one day. I mean, she was just like, it's not his thing. Finally, he just don't want to be there to say that. But I think it's kind of whack with him knowing that and not being there. Like, I think he should have been there to support his wife. I mean, even Charles was there. Goodness gracious. So Dennis explains that he didn't have a conversation with Portia, even though he told Drew that he did. Talking about, I thought she would handle it on the woman's side, and I'll talk to Ralph. What you need to talk to Ralph for? What does Ralph got to do with Drew's singing career? Nothing. And he's not with Drew, but he talked to Ralph out of respect. And she was like, you told me. Drew said, I've been trying to contact Portia. She's not responding. She wanted Portia to acknowledge the fact that she did try to contact her and Portia didn't want to talk to her. And Portia's like, you could have just said what it was. No, you could have found out what your so-called friend at the time wanted instead of brushing her off. If I try to contact you and I say, girl, I got something to tell you, and you don't want to find out, I'm not going to push the issue no more. I said it before, I'll say it again. Once I say, girl, I got something to tell you one time and you brush me off, I'm not bringing it up again. You're going to find out when you do. That's a you problem after that because I tried to tell you. But, Drew, Dennis was wrong. He should have, and I need Portia to have the same energy for Dennis that she had for Drew all season. But she ain't going to do that with her baby daddy, okay? That's the man she really wanted to marry. That's the real love of her life. So then Portia talks about that lost text message where she said that Dennis was saying Drew wanted to F him. Nobody believes that, girl. Why don't we let this go? She said that he stated in the text, he said, I'm trying to get money. I'm not trying to F. Now, to me, and probably anybody with good sense, it sounds like I'm not trying to F around. Like, I'm not trying to F over Drew. I'm not trying to mess around. I'm not trying to play games. I'm not trying to play nobody. I just want to get my money. But of course, she's going to take it and run with it. And since we never actually saw the text, we can't say what it was. But the way Portia's telling it just sounds like she tried to twist it and paint it into something that it's not. So Ralph said the text said what Portia said. That's fine if it said what Portia said, but comprehension is key. You have to comprehend what's being said. You have to have an understanding of what's being said. You can't just see the word F and just run with it. So Kelly said that she never talked to Dennis because they were talking about how Dennis was in everybody's DM. He was in Britt's DM. He was in Kelly's DM. Now, he ain't denying none of this now. And I mean, he had a million people's names tattooed on him and everything else. So Portia got with him, girl. You knew what it was when you signed up. You knew how he was when you got with him. When you thought giving him that baby was going to do something, but it didn't do nothing. He's going to act how he acts forever. And you just got to decide, Portia, if you want to deal with it or not, honey. And as much as y'all can't stay away from each other, you might as well just accept it. But Kelly was like, look, I never talked to him. We never spoke. And then she's like, well, we only talked on the phone a time or two. Kelly, which one is it? Did y'all never talk or did y'all talk on the phone a time or two? Kelly like a lot out them lips. So Portia, she was acting like she was up there laughing, but girl, she ain't like that. Portia ain't like that. So Ralph lied about the lady coming to the basement, talking about no, she came in there, but she just was outside. We were talking about fitness. I'm sure Drew would have saw on the camera that y'all was outside talking. Like, you telling a peanut head lie. So he said Drew acts different off camera than she does on camera. Now, I definitely believe that. She's an actress. And he said, look, they created something amazing. They have beautiful kids to raise, and he loves her. And everyone clapped. It's going to take a whole lot more to move me. That did nothing for me. Okay? That's just a narcissist being a narcissist. So Andy had to encourage Ralph to apologize to Drew's mom. That is ridiculous. That somebody has to even tell you to apologize for that nasty, disgusting statement you made about your mother-in-law. But then again, he didn't even want her sister mama in the house. So Cynthia had to tell Ralph's grown tail to watch what he posts on social media. He knows exactly what he's doing. Like Drew said earlier, he was trying to humiliate her. Because when they talked about Portia meeting with Ralph, and then Drew was like, why would you meet with Ralph? He's trying to humiliate me. And he does. That's exactly what he's doing. And when the people be like, oh, don't post your business on social media, don't post your partner, keep everything a secret. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. You can post who you're with and all that without posting your business. You don't have to post your business. Ralph is just choosing to do so because he wants a peach real bad. But the peach has already been given to Peter. You can't have it. Okay? So we get to Charles and his lack of affection for his wife. I'm so glad he embarrassed her on that podcast interview after the reunion because they would have had a field day with that. Oh my goodness. Now he does show up for her. Andy gets some kudos for always showing up, but I know he's old school because y'all let it be like, oh, he's old school, and that's just how he's just not affectionate. Every man who's old school does not have a lack of affection. He's just not affectionate because he don't want to be. But okay, showing up for her to embarrass her is no good. You might as well stay home like Gerald. Let's work on not embarrassing your wife anymore. Stop embarrassing your wife. Act like you love her, even if you have to fake it. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment myself. So Shamia said she met Charles at a wedding, and Charles said, "You might see me in the street, but shorty, you don't know me. You do not know me, okay? I don't even remember seeing you. Who are you? Matter of fact, this is my first time ever seeing you." And she was like, just insistent. So we saw a picture of Charles and Gerald at the wedding. And I mean, okay, that's fine. But Charles said, look, we might have seen each other in passing, but you don't know me. Like, we didn't meet. Like, we might have shook hands, but I don't really know you like that. Like, because people take I met you, like, and all you said was hi and bye, as I know you. Y'all never even had a conversation. Stop it. So then we get to Phaedra. She backpedaling and trying to explain and talking about, we've been in the same rooms. Okay, so we was at the same place at the same time. I don't know you. I'm with Charles on this one. And she was like, okay, but I knew you was dating Sheree. Wasn't that before you were on Housewives, Phaedra? Because he said from like 03 to 06. And Housewives wasn't even on 03 in 03. Like, what? So I'm like, okay. She's seen him. She's using a Sheree thing to get the heat up off of her. Again, Phaedra doesn't know him. She's talking about secret wife, and I didn't know he was married. But you already exposed yourself because you said you ain't seen him in 10 years, and he only been married for 8. So how would you know? She just coming in there being shady and making herself look silly. So him dating Sheree comes up, and he was like, after Charles said, look, everybody want to know about me. Everybody want to know about me, but I'm the only husband here. Where y'all husbands at? And I said, ooh, where are your husbands at? And Portia said, I don't know where mine is at. So, and Sheree, how you fumble Charles, honey? Because he said he was taking you to Dubai and everywhere else. You fumbled Charles to get with Marcel Ho, who probably can't even get you a flight anywhere. Like, okay, girl. So Wendy Williams comes up and her mentioning Charles having an alleged secret love child that he don't have, or I don't know, child. The way Angela said he was cheating, he may or may not have. I don't know no more. She don't care, neither do I. But he was saying like she invited him to the house for wine, and then Angela was like, "Oh, so you would have wine with Wendy Williams? You go on a date with her?" And he was like, "I would have wine with her," and it was just going back and forth for too long. Angela, what is this? What are we doing here? Why are you talking about this in front of everybody? Like, girl, please get a grip. This is a conversation you could have had when y'all got home. So Angela mentions Madison Square Garden and how it affected their marriage because him getting kicked out of Madison Square Garden caused him to cheat with every woman around town. Help me to understand how that makes sense. So the point where they separated behind it. Stop blaming Madison Square Garden on the fact that your husband's a cheater. He cheated because he's a cheater that like to cheat. He cheated because he wants to. Madison Square Garden don't got nothing to do with that. Okay? That was just a poor excuse. So Ralph, he won't share what Kelly's ex-husband said about her. And, after he didn't tell him the information, Kelly gave Ralph kudos for living in Drew's basement and being there for the kids because he lives in the same house that they live in. Okay, anyway. So, wrapping up, Andy was asking the ladies to go around and whatever. Kelly compared her friendship to Britt. And with good intention, like she was trying to give advice to Shamia and Portia, like, oh, I lost a friendship with Britt. I don't want y'all to lose y'all friendship. But honey, we comparing apples to peaches, honey. What their friendship is like, don't compare to that fake little friendship you had for 2 seconds with broke. So Phaedra didn't have nothing to say. She's a flop per usual. Shamia said something. Besides note, Shamia, what was that apology about with your mama and your auntie or your cousin, whoever that was the other day? What was that? I really don't need to see Shamia next season. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm fine if she's not there. I really am. Let her leave and let Kenya come back. Because Mark Daly is up in the house, and I want to know what all's going on over there. So Andy calls Cynthia a staple or whatever in the group. I don't think so. And take that blush off. And then Angela calls her fans Fangela. And that was kind of cute, but I don't like the word fans. Like, unless you Beyonce, honey, don't call me no fan. I mean, I might like that. I'm a fan of the show. Okay? None of y'all. Y'all leave the show and I don't even be wondering what's going on. Listen. People are supporting you. They're supporters. But you got to be, I'm talking, you can't be no reality star, no public figure, talking about no fans. You got to be a superstar. There's only a few of those out there for me. They start talking about where them fans at and boots on the ground. And that's a wrap for the season, for Sweet 16. That wasn't all that sweet. What y'all think about the episode, part 3, and the entire reunion, the whole season? What you looking forward to next season? Let me know in the comments as you're liking the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.